Hi everyone, Grant K here for the Flame Premium Learning Channel. Over a short period of time, the Logik Matchbox and Lightbox shaders have grown immensely in popularity and number. They offer a large variety of fast and powerful effects that can extend the creativity and problem-solving challenges that you face on a daily basis. They are very well maintained by Ivar and the rest of the gang, so keeping your system up to date on the Logik shaders is a big must. Now, up to this point, installing and updating the shaders is a manual process. You need to download the shaders, unzip them, and then ensure they're installed. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But one very cool thing in the Flame products is that you can use Python to automate the updating within the application. All it actually takes is a few lines of code, and it works quite nicely. If you would like to follow along, please click the link in the YouTube description to download the text file. Alternatively, if you're watching the podcast version of this video, then type the link displayed in your internet browser. Now, before we do anything, let's talk about what we expect to see and happen in Flame. Looking at the timeline view, and it can be any project, when you call up the contextual menu, you should see the regular commands. Using the Python hooks available in the Flame products, we'd like to add a custom menu called Web Utilities, and inside that menu will be an option to update the Logik shaders. When this action is chosen, Flame will download the latest version of the Logik shaders, decompress them, and install them into the main shader directory. So, stating the obvious, your system needs to be connected to the internet to download the files in order for this to work. Now, to add the Python code, we will use a text editor and a shell or terminal to get the job done. Press Alt-Tab to bring up the other applications to the foreground. If you've not already done so, open the downloaded text file into the text editor. We'll copy these lines of code into a Python file very shortly, and then go through what the code will do. In the shell, we need to open and edit the hook.py file and add the lines of Python code. In case you're wondering, the hook.py file contains some documentation as well as a bunch of usable generic Python hooks in Flame. But there are also other Python files that you can use for different purposes. You can even create your own, as well as call them whatever you want. In terms of Python file location, Flame searches a default directory for implemented supported Python hooks. This is typically based on the software application and the version you are using. For expert Python programmers, you can override the default location using an environment variable found in the Flame user guide. To get to the default directory, type cd/user/discrete/the version/Python. The version could be Flame, Flare, or Flame Assist. This also includes the version number. Press Enter. Type ls to list the directory contents. You should see a file called hook.py. Just a side note, you need to ensure that you have the correct permissions to edit these files or the changes won't save. Now, before you start editing any files, I always suggest making a backup copy. So that is what we'll do first. Type cp hook.py space hook.back and press Enter. So if you want to restore everything back to the original, just copy the backup file over the hook.py. Just for reference, you would type cp space hook.back space hook.py. But don't type this now. Now, to edit the hook.py, you can use another text editor, but you can also use vi in the shell. To open the file, type vi space hook.py. The terminal opens the file. The first line indicates that this is a Python script. Wherever you see a pound or hash symbol at the beginning of a line is a comment just to give you extra information. Now use the arrow keys or scroll bar to navigate to the bottom of the file. As I mentioned earlier in the video, we need to perform a series of steps or actions to automate the updating of the Logik shaders. First, we need to insert the custom actions into the contextual menu. And secondly, when the action is chosen, the file should download, decompress, and install the shaders. So it's two operations we need to add. In the hook.py script, locate the Get Custom UI Actions hook. This Python hook will allow you to add custom actions into the contextual menu. Press I to go into insert mode. Next, delete the return entry under the hook. This is where we'll paste the first bit of code. Press Alt-Tab to switch back to the text editor. Here you will see the same Python hook called Get Custom UI Actions. Select all the text under this hook and copy this to memory. Now switch back to the terminal. Choose to paste the text using the keyboard shortcut or middle mouse button depending on the OS. In a very simplified explanation, this code says that a group called Web Utilities will be created in the contextual menu. This is where you will find the command to download the Logik shaders. So this Get Custom UI Actions hook is just making entries accessible in the chosen Flame product. But at this point, it won't do anything once it's selected because you haven't told Flame what to do once the entry has been chosen. So this is the second part of the code we need to paste into the script. Scroll down again if needed and locate the Python hook called Custom UI Action. So once you have chosen to download the Logik shaders in the menus, this Custom UI Action hook will execute a set of commands. Still in insert mode, delete the pass-through command under the hook. Now press Alt-Tab to switch to the text file again. Select all the text under the Custom UI Action hook and copy it. Go back to the VI shell once more and paste the text under the same hook. In a simplified explanation, this code says that once the Download Logik Shader action is chosen in the menu, go onto the web and download the compressed file. Next, the file will be decompressed and the Logik install script will be run. This will all happen in the background. Now let's save the hook.py Python script before we return back to Flame. If you are in insert mode, like me, press Escape to exit editing. To save the file, type the following: :WQ! This means write the change to the file and quit the VI editor. Press Enter and the shell will return back to its previous state. That's it for the Python scripting, and now we can go back to Flame. Press Alt-Tab to return to the application. If you call up the contextual menu again, the custom commands are not there yet. You can either restart Flame, which is the long way round, or press Shift-Control-PH. This keyboard shortcut will refresh all the Python hooks in the application. Now call up the contextual menu again. At the bottom of the menu, you should see Web Utilities and the option to download the latest Logik shaders. When you select this option, the actions fire off in the background and the latest Logik shaders are downloaded, decompressed, and installed. Let's see if this worked. I'll select the segment in the sequence and call up the effects ribbon. Choosing the Matchbox timeline effects should take you into the file browser. Remember to switch the file selection to GLSL in the pull-down menu for the Logik shaders. You will also see a Logik directory that has been installed with the rest of the Matchbox shaders. When you go inside the directory, you can access whichever shader you require. This is a small example of what you can achieve with Python scripting available in the Flame family. With a little bit of learning and practice, you can have your own operations running in and out of the Flame family. This can also be expanded out to your facilities pipeline on a major scale. If that interests you, I suggest having a look at Shotgun and its integration with the Flame products. The Pipeline Toolkit has a Flame engine application that includes detailed Python hook implementations for a variety of custom workflows using the Flame family. Special thanks to Ivar and the Logik team for some great shaders, and DJ for helping out with the Python scripting for this example. Comments, feedback, and suggestion are always welcome and appreciated. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the Flame Premium Learning channel for future videos.